try to stop me now.
So it's been a little bit. Haven't had too many updates on the 57. Kind of just been working in the background on Dad's 57 Chevy. But we spent a good solid weekend and completely got the car stripped. Got everything out of it, every nut and bolt. Didn't really film any of it. We were just trying to bust it and get through it. But we sent it off to get sandblasted. It actually got media blasted, I believe, glass bead or something like that. I don't remember all the details, but bare metal. So now we're just working on chiseling off the last little bits of seam sealer that remain and just little pieces here and there. So hopefully we'll get this done before it flash rusts, which it shouldn't. It's supposed to be pretty cold and snowy in the next couple days, so as long as it stays below freezing and keep it in the shop here, we'll be good to go. But yeah, you can see the floor is all bare metal. Everything is bare, but there's a little bit of like this old tar type stuff that's around various spots. Sandblaster did the best they could, but some of it's just kind of residual, couldn't come off. So working on scraping the rest of that off, and here's a couple spots that I got that were completely covered. We're going to redo those with some modern style seam sealer, and then same up here on the firewall. There's some schmutz under here. Everything turned out really nice, but that's where we're at for now. I'm going to start doing more updates on this thing since we're actually working on it now that winter's kind of here. Here's an example of some of the old tar sealer. This is down by the passenger floorboard. It's kind of, they used like an old tar back in the 50s when they made this, and it really is a nuisance to try to get out. So what I've done over here is I wire wheeled most of it off best I could. It really gets gooey and nasty, but got it cleaned up, and then I took some lacquer thinner on a rag, and it seems to be taking the rest of it out. So I'm going to keep digging away at that. Hopefully have this side done also here. And then once it's all clean, like I said, we'll put some modern seam sealer on that and really just seal it up nice. And that's what the final product looks like. I got most of the stuff off of it. There's still a little bit down in that crevice we still had to get. But it's way better. Here's in front of the front door hinges. You can still see how it came back from the sandblaster. Couldn't really get all of it. And here's after we picked all that stuff out, got it down to clean bare metal. So much better. It's going to look nicer under the paint. Primer's going to stick better to it and everything. So you got to get all that extra stuff off. It's kind of a huge project. This is on the front left, the kick panel, driver's side kick panel. There was some of that tar down in that crevice between the wall there, the kick panel wall, and that little piece of metal bracket. You can see the process a little bit using a wire wheel. Rest in peace to that grinder. It died shortly after we finished doing some of this. Just got burned up over time. We had to get a new one from Harbor Freight, but you have to wire wheel all that tar off of it, kind of melts it off and grinds it into oblivion, and then use some lacquer thinner and just start scrubbing away. This stuff is extremely disgusting, this tar material. I don't know what it actually was, but it's impossible to get it off. So we've been doing a lot of this cleaning, just getting it ready for epoxy primer. That's really the next step. As you can see, we're finding little bits of little rust spots here and there we need to touch up. That's going to become the next phase of this part of the project before we get it painted and primer. There's just another spot here. This is on the driver's side A pillar, or B pillar, I'm sorry, driver's side B pillar. Just cleaning up some of that goo, and you can see the green spots where even the sandblaster pointed right at it. He said it was just not coming off. So hindsight, maybe we should have done some of this before we took it to the sandblaster. Didn't really know. This is the first car we've actually taken and had entirely sandblasted, so live and learn. I guess we could probably get some of that off beforehand if we'd have known better, but also, you know, we probably wouldn't have caught it all anyway. So here's on the rear fender well, driver's side rear fender well. You can see the process a little bit easier. Just grinding away at that that tar material with the wire wheel. And then, you know, you got to force it down into that crevice. Bogs the grinder down like crazy. Thing was getting really hot, but you got to do it. You got to dig it out of there. You know, just get it all, get as much as you can. And then after that, you take the lacquer thinner on a rag and you just start scrubbing on it. This spot here, you can see it came off pretty well. Yeah, nice shiny metal underneath it. It's got to be as clean as possible for that epoxy primer to stick. So once we get that all done, we're going to sand it again with some coarse sandpaper just to make sure everything is roughed and has a good tooth for that that epoxy primer. This might be the most satisfying part of the whole, I guess, body sealer, seam sealer removal. It's the rain gutters on the roof. So there's a gutter that goes down both sides of the roof, catches all the rainwater and lets it kind of run off to the front of the back. There is a stitch welded or spot welded seam that's down in the base of that rain gutter, and there's actually a seam sealer they put in it from the factory. It's all old and cracked and kind of disgusting, so we wanted to go ahead and grind all of that out down to bare metal, and we're going to put fresh seam sealer in it. This is like super critical because if there isn't a good seal there, it'll leak water down inside, down in the pillars, and will really just be make a mess and a bunch of future rust problems. So got to get that all down to bare metal, get it cleaned up, and then there's a self-leveling type of seam sealer that actually will kind of smooth out and lay down level in there. It runs a little bit like this. So we'll be putting that in there once car's an epoxy primer. So. All right, another work day. Dad's 57. Got all this foam stuff. It's disgusting. Came off the ceiling. A lot of the stuff in this car is probably asbestos, but we got the back half done. Front half, it's still there. The back half, it's got tar like adhesive. We got to clean that off. But today we're moving it from this side of the shop, which it was never really intended to be on. It just kind of wound up here for a day and then got stuck here because of the snow. We're going to move it over to that side of the shop where the welder and all the fabrication tools are. So I'll be able to get a little better jump on some of the metal work and really get tearing into it. Okay, so the 57 is in the fab side of the shop. Finally started tearing into some of the metal work. Chris is here working on some patches. So this is the original, that spot that's cut out here. As you can see, lots of little perforations and rust that's come through. We found that after the sandblast. Still could be a lot worse considering, but just going to replace that whole little section there with a new one. Also, we got this spot on the floor that had a rust hole. He's got that cut out. Really not too bad otherwise. Yeah, this is a part I really was just not looking forward to doing. Chris, the painter, actually did about a quarter of this. Him and his son came over and knocked out a chunk of it. There's just so much of this. It just takes so much time. This roof insulation, whatever you want to call it, it was like a felt material that was glued to the metal with like a tar, the same stuff that was on the floor. Just thick and disgusting and nasty. It took me forever to finally get a system going, and it was just use the wire wheel, get as much off as you can. As you can see, You're just taking it off a little bit at a time, and then once that was cleared out as best as you could get it with the wire wheel, just start rubbing at it with the thinner again, and go from there. I managed to somehow lose the footage of that last quarter being done. It was pretty satisfying, so unfortunately that's no good, but I think all total I had about 2.5 hours in this sealing, which doesn't seem all that bad, but it is when you're working over your head. I'm pretty sure I took a few years off my shoulders doing this. Alright.
Oh, this isn't time lapse?
No.
What?
What do you mean? Despite spacing the tacks out and going really slow, we did end up with a little bit of a warp in the upper quarter panel. I really don't know what else we could have done. It's kind of inevitable sometimes on these. But that said, it still needed to be fixed, so enjoy the next several minutes of me and Chris discussing how to get it out, and I think we did a pretty decent job. Don't take this as a how-to. This is just watching raw footage of two idiots trying to fix a quarter panel. I did do a little bit of body repair in high school, and Chris is really good at fabricating and knowing how metal works. So we know a little bit, but we're just trying to figure it out. Enjoy.
We will. I'm gonna heat up right here. I'm gonna give it a whack right there because we got a crease forming.
That.
On the next one, yeah. Right in this corner is where we're shooting. Let's do up here next with the rubber.
I see it do the whole. Okay. Go for it.
Yep.
Popped out.
Yeah, right here. Looking a lot better.
I need to smack it from the inside of this. Right?
Yep.
There. I lost my location.
Go up this way a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's way the fuck better. It's got a little high spot now here.
It's
Okay, ready? Whenever you are here.
high spots.
Is it there now?
Well, it's dipping into a low. I think it's a false high spot, like it's deceiving us.
What is
I got the square right here. Right where the arrow is on this. Hammer this in a little bit. It's nibbled out.
Right here? Right on the hole?
That's where I'm seeing it. Is that where you're seeing it?
I'm not seeing it. They're all dimpled out a little bit.
Okay, never mind.
I've actually... not seeing much wrong.
You got low spots right here.
Well, there's going to be some. Like,
Okay.
but that's way smaller than it was. You dolly it out too.
Yeah.
Where's that?
It's up there. I never grabbed it. It's still in the box.
Alright. So what I might do here.
I'm hit on the edge.
I'm trying to hit on the edge of it, yeah. It's not going to move very much, just a little bit at a time.
Just to go out, you're hitting it in.
I'm trying to hit off the dolly a little bit, I think I'm not.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're making a low spot. Yeah, you need to go the other way. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man.
Yeah, right. You don't, it's like lighter than you think you need to.
Yeah. That's good right there.
Damn good right there. You just
There.
gotta go a little bit up higher, but honestly, I think you're within Mondo.
Oh yeah. We cleaned that right up.
That's fucking beautiful.